There, Vicky here, the words lady, and today is day 2 of our mini course on how to write a book people want to read. And I am super duper excited for this day. Oh my gosh, I have been reading through and looking at all the intros, the videos, the homework, everything. It's been so great to see people taking action. And I love the energy that this group has. Keep it up, guys. I think this has been one of the best group of people that I've had in any of my little mini courses. And I appreciate each and every one of you just bringing it, like bringing your energy, bringing your commitment, bringing your enthusiasm, because it really helps the whole entire group. And today we're going to go through something really important, but often gets missed in the nitty gritty of, oh my gosh, Vicki, how do I this? How do I that? How do I that? It's the mindset piece. And yes, best-selling authors use some simple mindset hacks that makes getting their book out not just easy, but super duper duper easy. I don't see anybody hopping on just yet, so hold on a second. I want to make sure that we are live streaming in the right place and stuff is going on and you can see me, because usually by now I see a whole bunch of people jumping on. Hey, Regina. Oh, thanks for posting that, because I wasn't seeing anybody. As you're hopping on, say hi so that I know you are here. All right, cool. We are streaming. Yes, good morning, Steve. So, first of all, I want to let you know that from yesterday, I put the video for day 1 into the unit section because there's a lot of activity going on, homework, people doing stuff. I didn't want it to get missed. So if you need to rewatch it, go to the unit section of the group. All right. And then I also wanted to give a huge, huge, huge shout out to everybody who did their homework on book math. Tell me if that was eye-opening for you. Was it? So Tony, Mary, Christina, Cassandra, Sarah, Eric, Katya, Lindsay, Sharon, Karen, Kristen, Bird, Steve, TJ, Samantha, Linda, Cynthia, Alexis, Lupe, Shanita, Regina, Tina, Bissy, Mandy, Natasha, Tika, Carol, Shar. Oh, I think I'm still missing some people. Nikki, Stacia, Amanda, Kelsey, Terry, Michelle, Rebel, Rosie, Julie, Debbie, Chevy, Alvin, all you guys doing the intros and the homework. Way to go. Way to go. Let me know how that was for you. Eye-opening? Yes? First of all, with that, just yay on doing it, right? Yay on the commitment and the dedication and sharing your numbers with everybody in here. And I want to let you know that there were a few people that didn't have a minimum of $3,000. That was what I was saying yesterday, in that the profitability with your book is in the upsell. If you don't have a higher ticket upsell, I did see somebody with like 1,000 and 2,000 and whatever, and I suppose those could work, but the numbers get bigger, right? And then numbers get scarier. When you say that you have a $50 program or 100 or even a $500 program, and you need to get 10 or 20 people in every single month, that is a lot of effort, right? You want to make it easy. So here's the thing I want you guys to think about, right? You don't see companies like Tesla, Mercedes, Bentley, like they don't join into the industry or the niche that they're in and say, you know what? I'm gonna just start out at the Kia level or the Hyundai level, and then as people buy, I'm just gonna increase the price of that vehicle without changing the vehicle, right? Tesla knows the value. Tesla knows because they've created a brand Mercedes, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, whatever it is that you want, they have created a brand that people aspire to buy, and that's what you want. My first client was a $4,500 client. Now, I did overstuff it. It was a one-on-one that lasted, I think, like 8 months or something. I gave her like multiple press releases and like all this stuff because I was like, oh my gosh, I got to give her enough value. That mistake aside, I knew that I needed to keep the lights on. I knew that I didn't want to chase down a whole bunch of clients. I knew I needed to pay for my computer and all these things that were coming in the future, Facebook ads eventually. And when you have those advertising costs, when you have these other overhead costs, you have to also include them. Not only that, but just the time. Okay, so that's one thing. But as we talked yesterday, we are not pricing our programs and services based on an hourly wage. We are pricing them based on the value that you're giving somebody. In my example, if you could help somebody, let's say you're a business coach or something, and your program is $10,000 and they can make $100,000 in the next year or even in the next quarter, would that not be worth it? So the whole thing about, oh, I can't find a client, I can't this or that, as soon as you say that you can't find a 3K or a 10K or whatever, 50K, 100K client, you just created lack in your business. I'm going to let that sink in. As soon as you say you cannot find a 3K or a 10K or a 20K or a 100K client, you just created lack inside your business. The only difference between a large sum of money and a small sum of money is what's normal for you, your perception of it, your reaction to it. And you need to start normalizing the value that you deliver in that price tag and your investment for the clients that you get. Did you guys hear that too? You need to start normalizing getting 3K, 5K, 10K, 50K, 100K clients. Plus, just as a side note, $500 clients take more time than busy 10K clients because a $500 client has more time than clients, right? Or whatever work they're doing. The busy 10K client is not going to ask you like about your portal and the sign-in, and they don't have time for that. And large sums of money require less effort on your part. Flip the switch, because large sums of money require less effort on your part. All right, I need to read some of these. Very eye-opening on the book math. Yes, it was a little scary. Yep. Scary is good. Scary is good. I love that creating a course and an income can be as easy as that. Yep, you just declared. Absolutely, declaration's powerful. Sarah says, you gave me some fire. I open a book I hadn't read in more than a year. Awesome. Hi, everybody, as you're jumping on. TJ, yes, Vickie, our words are powerful. You agree. Yes. More importantly, the thoughts we use to create them. Exactly. And all of this stuff is this mindset stuff. So I'm really glad that today's topic is just about that. Okay, so are you ready to find out about the mindset hacks that bestsellers use? Type in "I'm ready" in the comments. Let me know that you're ready to go. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I saw Lindsay Morales Andrews jump on or not, but happy birthday. It's her birthday. It's her birthday. It's her birthday. Okay, so see, here's the thing I want to tell you. Most people can catch on to my 5S system and my strategy on how to write their books faster than they ever imagined pretty easily. Like, that's pretty step by step. It's, it's pretty simple to follow. And I guess that's why my program is called Easy Writer. It truly is easy. And my clients will tell you the same thing. They say things like, oh my gosh, it's so easy. It feels like I'm doing something wrong. How could it be so easy? So what I'm saying is that the how-to step-by-step is the simple part to teach and the simple part to grasp. You guys are all intelligent, bright people. It's easy to grasp, simple to grasp, and it's easy to implement. It's like many other things in business, right? books, parallel business, the things that we make hard and the things that get in our way is the stuff and the chatter that's in our minds, right? So you might actually be overthinking right now with all the what ifs. And we talked about a few of those yesterday, but tell me if any of these are you. I'm gonna go through a few of them and you just let me know with a me or an emoji with a hand up or whatever you want in the comments. Let me know as well what else is going through your head so that we can address it too, okay? So some of the what ifs that might be hitting you are, what if my book sucks? What if no one reads it? What if no one buys it? What if I get a bad review? Which I totally did, just to let you know. What if I spend a bunch of time and money and it turns into a big fat waste of time? What if I don't know what to do with it once I'm done? What if, uh-oh, something just happened. I just got a notice. Okay, hold on. I don't think that was for right here. Okay, sorry about that. What if I don't know what to do with it once I'm done? What if English wasn't my best subject and I don't really feel like I'm really that great of a writer? What if I embarrass myself with this book? What if there's a mistake or a typo or something grammatically wrong inside the book? What if I can't get the ROI back? What if I announce that I'm writing my book and I don't finish or it takes me a really long time? Let me know if anything is hitting you and comment with anything else. All right, I can keep going. You may also be wondering, who am I to think that I can do this, that I have something important to say, or that anybody should pay attention to me? Who am I to think that I could change the world or make a bigger impact? Who am I to say that I could do this at all? Who am I to charge this much for the next step, which is what we were just talking about? Or maybe you're thinking things like, I need to be more famous. I need to have more followers. Let me wait until I have a bigger email list, or I need to just start my email list. Maybe I need to have bigger and better programs. Maybe I need to sell more courses first. Maybe I need to be more successful, whatever that means, right? And here's what you need to do. Writing a book, becoming a bestseller, isn't reserved for other people. It's available for you right now. Every time you think about your book or feel it calling out to you, it's like it's being presented. It's almost like this gift is being given to you in the form of that calling and that heart tug and that nudge. And it keeps getting given and gifted to you, and you keep turning it down. It is time to get out of your way. Stop turning the gift down. Not everybody receives this gift. It's like a talent that you're burying in the ground. Let me know what you think about that. And you want to know why I know? It's because I have had clients who've tried to write their books for 10 years, get into my programs and write it in 8 weeks. I've had clients say they were going to put it off, waiting to be more famous or figure, let me do this before I do that. Let me get my website set up. Let me lose 10 pounds. Let me get my photo shoot first, right? And then after they get it done, they realize that it helped them grow their reach. It helped them do those things they thought they had to do first. I've had clients say they needed to write their book after they made more money. And then they took the plunge and let their book get them speaking gigs, get them clients, help them close 6 figures in the next year. Let me know if this is you. And if you want it to be you, that you can be the person that uses their book in this way, right? So there's this lady, her name is Erica Jong. She's an American poet and novelist, and she talked about how she battled finishing her books. She's best known for a novel called Fear of Flying, and it's from way back, 1973. So that might be older than some of you are. It is not older than me. Just told you how old I am. But anyways, she battled finishing her books. And she said, I went for years not finishing anything because, of course, when you finish something, you can be judged. Ugh, she said it so well, right? But you know that book inside your head is the key to the stuff that you want. You can't have the things my clients have unless you write the ding dong book. So, just so you know as well, later on, I'm going to share with you why and how this current pandemic that we're in has created many new bestsellers in my programs, right? And I want to tell you as well that there was a story that I had that I never wanted to tell. Back in 1989, I was a senior in high school, and it was just another one of these crazy nights with my mother. See, my dad was gone. He was gone on a business trip, so that buffer was gone. My sister was off to college. That buffer was gone. And my mom and I were having a full out brawl on the kitchen floor. And she would grab my hair and she yanked my hair and I would yank hers back. And eventually, somehow through the rolling around on the floor, I managed to get away. I had a handprint bruise on my arm because of how tight she had held my arm. And I remember running up the stairs and just getting there in a flash, slamming the door. I think I kicked the door too. And I just remember thinking, I'm so done with this. I am done. I am done. I'm gone. I am done. And I started furiously packing up my things from my closet. I was such a good Asian. I packed my books, I packed my contacts, I did not pack my underwear because I knew I was going to school tomorrow. Like, that's weird, right? But, anyways, inside my closet, I noticed that I had a bungee cord. And I'm like, I don't know why I have this thing in here. So I hung it to the end of my canopy bed. And then I tied my sheets, a couple sheets to it, and then I slung it out the window. And you know what? Slinking down the window, I love spy movies. I love spy movies. It's not quite like that because I had stuck a bungee cord on the end piece. When I went to go out the window, I just was like, oh, thunk, right into the ground. Luckily, it wasn't that far and it was okay, but like the bungee cord made it kind of elastic. The whole thing didn't work so well. It wasn't very thought out. But I remember too that I was like, I'm just getting away. I'm gonna get away from the voices in my head, the things that she repeated to me, the things about you're not enough, you're never gonna amount to much, you don't try hard enough, no matter what you do, it's not good enough, the grades weren't good enough, the piano wasn't good enough, nothing I did was good enough. And I thought if I just got out of there, that those things would disappear. But the problem was I couldn't outrun the story. I remember I ran to, there's a little light at the gas station, called a friend, he came and picked me up, and I never went back home. I graduated from high school. I was living in the hallway, a little landing in a friend's hallway with a mattress out. That was my spot to sleep. So thankful that they took me in. And that's how I graduated high school. And for the longest time, I was too ashamed to tell the story because Asians have a very strong sense of not shaming the family name, not or of saving face, right? And I thought that that was going to shame my family if I told the story. But the thing that I knew about it was that, my mom had her own demons. She had her own stuff she had to work through. I know that she did the best that she could with what she had at the time, right? And through all of the coaching and the therapy and all of that stuff to get through it, I realize that there are so many people out there who have stories like these, who might feel scared about the things that they want to share. But that story helps other people. That story is the thing that other people need to hear, just like I told you yesterday, to know that they're on your side, to know that somebody has been there, to know that they have help. And that's why, again, these stories are so important that we share. Somebody out there has also tried to outrun their story, just like I did. And just like the work that I needed to do to realize my value, my worth, the things that she said didn't matter, and to flip the switch on those things. Just like I want you to flip the switch on some of the things that are going through your head about writing this book, right? So now I want to share these mindset hacks that bestsellers use. They use them, and I think a lot of them don't even know that they're using them. This is just part of how they do it, part of what they do. But it makes writing the books really easy. If you've wondered how James Patterson writes those 18 books a year, then I would guess this is probably part of it. See, best-selling authors, they go into writing a book, and you might be sitting there going, hey, I'm not a best-selling author yet. We're going to get to that. They go into writing a book like it's fun and easy. They look forward to doing it. It's not this like dread. They create excitement around it, and they want to get their book out. It's not well, it'd be nice if I finish this book someday. They go after it with a vengeance, right? So number one, they toss aside the I can't and I don't know what to write that sometimes comes up. Best-selling authors don't hide behind writer's block, and there's no such thing as writer's block. It's clarity block. And once you're clear and you know that the book is giving that transformation and it's aligned with your business, you don't have a problem. Now, every once in a while, there's also this thing that I call word constipation, where you try really, really, really hard. You try so hard to say just the exact right thing. That does happen. But writer's block doesn't exist so long as you have the clarity on the transformation you're giving to the reader. Because then when you reverse engineer it and chunk it out like we're going to talk about tomorrow, it's really easy to know exactly what to write in every single chapter. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, best-selling authors have confidence in their divine guidance with their book. So what I mean by that is that best-selling authors know that the words will come to them even if they have to wait for that divine download. They come with the energy of receiving. They simply ask, what do my people need to hear about from me today? What do people need to know inside my book? What is going to help them the most? How can I help them today? And then sometimes they sit and they're quiet. They say, I know what to write, even if it's not right at this moment. They have confidence it's going to come to them. Sometimes they skip that little part that they can't figure out and just move on and come back to it later. They don't let the one thing keep them from the whole thing, if that makes sense. They know that it's in my head. It's going to come to me at a perfect time. And sometimes the perfect time, quote unquote perfect times, are those inopportune moments, like in the shower, while you're driving, while you're falling asleep. I had a client that used to consistently say, I don't know what to write. I'm not sure what to say. And part of that is about perfectionism. You have to drop the perfectionism. And she just kept saying, I'm not sure. I don't know if this is good. I don't know. Maybe and then it became, Instead, she got into the habit of telling herself that indeed she did know. It became a knee-jerk reaction, and she just eventually stopped saying that she didn't know what to write. I used to have a coach that would ask questions, right? Because coaching is about asking questions. And sometimes we would say, I don't know. And she would never, ever, ever take that as a good answer. And she would say, well, if you did know, what would the answer be? And I got into the habit, just like this example, in saying, well, if I did know, what would I be writing about? So always carry a notebook. There's a writer, his name is Will Self. He wrote 10 novels, 5 short stories, 3 novellas, like 5 collections of nonfiction. And he says, always carry a notebook. And I mean always. The short-term memory only retains information for 3 minutes. Unless it's committed to paper, you can lose an idea forever. That's why I'm always telling people, stick it in your phone, voice dictate it. You know, it's kind of like we go to the grocery store and we're like, oh, there's only 3 items that we need. And we walk out of the store with 10 items and not the 3 that we went there for, right? Who else has done that? Yep, exactly. So, number 3, the third thing, best-selling authors, they don't buy their own excuses. We are so good at being like, hey, that's a good excuse for ourselves. We always let ourselves off the hook. Best-selling authors don't buy those excuses. They create drop-dead dates and they commit. No excuses. That 4-day book I wrote, I couldn't change the date of the event that was happening that I wanted to bring those physical copies to. I couldn't do anything about it. So I had these drop dead dates. It just had to happen this way if I wanted it if I wanted to be able to bring those books. And I wanted to bring those books. And it meant that much to me that I was not gonna slip on the dates. So what if your excuses were actually your reasons? I remember I was on a call with somebody who was enrolling an Easy Writer, and I loved her answer. I asked her, why is this so important to you now if you've never done it before? Like, why? You could just put it off, continue to put it off. And her answer was, I am so sick of myself. And we both had a good laugh after she said that. Because sometimes, yeah, it's true. You have to get to the point where you're like, I'm sick of all my own stinking excuses. Number 4, they trust in their gift and treat it as a gift. Best-selling authors don't reject or ignore their calling. They don't pretend they don't hear it. They know that they are special. They've been called to do this, and not everybody has been called to do this. They know they've been handed a gift in their story and their journey, and they see that struggle as a gift now. Maybe not while they were in it. And their heart is to help others, and so they use that to their utmost, right? One of my clients wrote a book about sexual trauma and how to overcome it so that you can call in your soulmate, so you can heal that part of your heart that has a hole in it from the love. It was hard to go through it all again, but there was a bigger purpose. The book had stories that were super sensitive. I'll tell you right now, super, super sensitive. But she also knew that it had to be done. She wanted what she went through to not go to waste. She wanted it to have meaning, and she has helped so many people now to heal their traumas because she had the courage to share. She gets so many thank yous for sharing. Thank you for being so transparent. And now she's had retreats. She's raised her prices 3 times. She's just getting better and better and better every time I see what she's putting out. Okay, number 5, best-selling authors leverage their time. They know that they don't have enough time to write. I don't want you to sit there thinking that my authors had a whole bunch of time, because they didn't. Time tends to be a scapegoat for so many things, not just your book, right? In fact, we're going to talk about how people with less time actually do better tomorrow, because we're going to be chunking out some things about, the 60 days. And how to handle time and make it ultra manageable so you can write your book lickety split fast. But Best-selling authors, they leverage their time. They don't use that as an excuse. And in fact, people who have less time do better writing the book. Who would have thunk? So if you're telling me you don't have time, I'm going to say, good. That means that you are well equipped to write this book. Number 6, lastly, best-selling authors act like best-selling authors before they're bestsellers. They declare it, they claim it, it's totally possible, available to them, and they're going to go make sure that it happens. In this way, they show up like they are best-selling authors already. That's how all the other things that I just talked about work so well. Because they go and they sit down and they go, okay, well, if I were already a best-selling author, which you already are inside, every single one of you already is, inside you lives that best-selling author. They say, how would they approach this topic? How would they approach the subject? How would they approach not having the words come right at the moment? How would they approach not having the time? How would they approach this? How would they approach that? And they act like best-selling authors. Get what I mean? Right? I also want to mention that, and it's not really a mindset hack, but best-selling authors don't write in a vacuum and pretend they're not writing. They don't hide it and like try to do it in secret. They tell people and they get help, meaning they declare it to all the people that are around them, their family, their friends, they let them know, and they tell them why it's so important so that those people can support them during this journey. Your family and your loved ones, if something is important to you, it should just inherently be important to them. And here's the thing, kids are the best accountability buddies ever. I was doing this thing, some of you may have seen it, with a gallon water jug, right? And it had times on this gallon jug of how far you should be in drinking your water for the day. And the first couple days, my son was getting used to, oh, mom's got this huge monster water bottle. And after a couple days, he was like, how you doing with that water, Mom? And I'm like, I'm a little behind. He's like, you better get drinking. And then another week or so after that, as I was getting more used to portioning out this whole gallon of water, he looked at the jug. He's like, Mom, you are doing so well. Like, he was so celebrating that I was actually on time with my stuff, right? So sometimes the people in your life are the best accountability buddies. And I see Rosie had said, your family doesn't believe, no support. I get that. Sometimes that is true. Like, my mom doesn't even know what I do. She's like, people pay you for stuff? Like, what is it that you do? So when I'm talking family and friends and people who are supporting you, please just insert the correct people in your life. The ones who do support you, the ones who are going to rally around you. The other people who aren't supporting or don't believe or whatever, you need to limit the amount of time you spend with them because they cannot get in your head. That's not good for you, not good for your business, not good for your family, not good for your life, not good for the vision that you have, none of that. And here's the thing as well, you cannot use that they don't support you as your excuse not to do this. You still have the calling, you still have the tug on your heart. That's just one of the excuses that people sometimes use. Well, I don't have support. Well, get support from the people who will support you. And sometimes that means you get into a coaching program that has a community. That's why my Easy Writer people, they have a Facebook community. We do celebrations on Friday. We do intentions on Monday. We have a support system so that if you don't have it yet, you get it. Because we do need that support system. We do need that help. We do need the people to celebrate with us and believe in us and all of that stuff. But you also can't use that as an excuse not to move forward. So, okay, so I don't want to forget to mention, like I said before, how and why the pandemic has created a new best-selling author in my program basically every month since lockdown. And some of them even wrote 2 books using the method. So you know what happened when the pandemic hit? Lockdown made a lot of people introspective. They started thinking about what they'd done with their life. They started considering what they wanted to happen before they were gone, right? And they started thinking more intentionally about what their legacy meant to them. I don't know, maybe you did the same thing and started thinking about those things. And what my most successful clients during this time realized was their purpose never changed. Just because we had to stay at home, their why story didn't change, or their mission in their business didn't change. Their purpose didn't change. And it seems so many things had changed, and there's this word floating out there, uncertain, uncertain. But really, there was never anything that was certain in life in the first place. But the one thing that got louder and louder and louder and louder and very, very certain, their purpose was calling and calling and calling about writing their book. And they used that time at home to get their book done and out. Like I said, some 2, some 3. So I want to ask you, is your purpose calling louder and louder too? Has it been? Is it because we're talking about this book in the last 2 days? Has the couple of days that we've been together been convicting you? Let me know in the comments. I want to go back. I know there were a lot of great comments floating through, but I wanted to get through those mindset hacks, right? So Mandy says, thanks for sharing your story. Very impactful. You're welcome. Catherine, yes, there will be a replay posted in the units. Tina, thank you for numbering some of them. And Chevy, yes, procrastination causes, or I'm sorry, other way around. Perfectionism causes procrastination, right? You just got to drop the perfectionism. I'm a recovering perfectionist too, so I get it. But you also have to take the action. The speed of action, right, creates the momentum. No matter if you're talking about money, business, anything else in life, take the action, right? Paralysis by analysis. Regina says, yep, Chevy carries a notebook all the time. Yay. So does Mandy. You guys are great. Tina carries a note. You all carry notebooks. That's awesome. Tina says, trust your innate gifts and use them to your best abilities. Exactly. You were given those gifts. Nobody else has your combination of gifts or your story, right? Chevy says, simple to grasp, easy to implement. When you finish something, you can be judged. I can't run past the story of what happened to me. Very long, very, very long comment. Thank you, thank you. A drop dead day, all the notes. That that was from your notepad. Awesome, great with the notes, Chevy. Then we got the comments about some people without the family support, and TJ, support is here. We're here. You guys are so sweet. Tika says support system can make or break you. Sometimes, yes, if you let it. We can all support each other. Exactly. This is a great group of people. Make sure you friend request people, because this group is not going to be around forever. After we are done here in about like a week or so, this group will get taken down. So if you've made some buddies in here and people you want to keep in touch with, make sure that you friend request them, right? Chevy says, I'm here to support and love you all. You guys are so amazing. So true. Wrote a few articles during this time. No excuses. Chevy says to Catherine, welcome, love you, proud of you, and becoming a bestseller. Yes, it's calling. Sick of my own excuses. The birthday girl has spoken. Happy birthday, Lindsay. Yes, yes, yes. I'm more excited this time around. Going to seek real help this time, says Sarah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so we are going to move into your homework for day 2. So there is a part 1 and there is a part 2 to today. Okay, just so you know, and I didn't mean to make it complicated, but they're both very, very, very super easy. Okay, so day 2 homework part 1 is to declare your upcoming bestseller. So I want you to snap a picture and post it in the group. What you're going to do is tag I am a best-selling author. You're going to create a new email signature written out by hand. So that's why you're going to snap a picture of it, because you're going to write this out on hand on a piece of paper. So you're going to say, this is your signature, right? Like I say, Vickie Gould, coach and publisher, Moaning Oak Publishing, da da da, underneath my email signature, right? So this is what I'm talking about. You create a new email signature written out by hand. So your name, and then under your name, forthcoming author of the best-selling book. If you have a title, that's fine. Go ahead and throw it out there. If you don't, then you're going to say the subject. So it's a forthcoming author of the best-selling book about cooking gluten-free meals in 30 minutes. Forthcoming author of the best-selling book, Think and Grow Rich. So either one, either it's the subject of your book or it's the title of your book. And you're going to write that out by hand, okay? I'm going to tell you about part 2 in a few minutes. Let me throw this into the comments right now. There we go. So, homework part 2, snap a picture, put it in the group. Okay, you guys got that? You're going to be declaring your best-selling book. If you're already a best-selling author, if you're the author of, multiple books and you're writing a new one, then it would be for the author of the best-selling book and the forthcoming author of blah, blah, blah. You can do it like that, or, you can just do it about the one that's coming out. Either way, you need to have a signature that talks about your book. All right, like I said, part 2 in a second. Now, you will have a feeling when you write this down. You're going to sign your name to this paper. And there is a reason that I'm not saying type it out. I don't want it typed out. Write it by hand, because you're going to have a feeling when you write that sucker out. You're going to have a feeling about reading it. And then I want you to take and anchor that feeling in. So do you know what I mean by anchor? Let me know if you know what I mean by anchor. Something like a fist pump, a high five, a slap on the table, something that grounds in and like has a physical element to it. Maybe you're cheering, maybe you're jumping up and down, whichever one it is. Because when you do something physical, your body remembers it, and it remembers the energy and the feeling so that you can come back to it. And anytime you have doubts, your stuff creeps in, because it will, you can come back to this and declare your best-selling authorness. Right? And here is where I want you to now close your eyes with me, because there's something I need you to experience before we're done. Okay? Are you ready? If you missed the homework, it is in the comments, and I will also post it separately after we're done. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to close your eyes with me, okay? Take a deep breath in and out. Just kind of calm. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Now I want you to go to the point in time where you're done writing your book. It's done. It's complete. It's on Amazon. It's become a bestseller. And you've ordered 50, 100 copies, whatever it is, so that you have them on hand at home. Okay? One more deep breath in and out. So you're in the kitchen, sitting at the kitchen table, having a cup of coffee or tea, or maybe having your lunch, whatever the scene is, and you hear a ding dong. And you think to yourself, ooh, could that be it? Could that be it? Could that be your box of books arriving? Ah. And so you get up from the table. You're trying to be all calm, but you're really excited. And you go and open the door, and there's the box. There's the box from Amazon with your books in it. It's a little heavier than you thought it was going to be. So you bend down to go get it, and you realize it's a little heavy, so you're kind of dragging it through the door. And you finally get it into the kitchen, where you go and quickly grab your scissors, and you slice open the tape on the box. And as you open the box, you're like, oh, look. And it's packed with some paper. You take the paper out, and there are your books. Imagine your cover. Imagine the color of your books. There they are. So you excitedly just grab one of them. You're like, oh my gosh, there it is in my hot little hands. Cannot believe they're here. But all this time you spent on the book, all the feedback you've already been getting, your story's in that book. Your words are in that book. The words that get to live forever are in that book. And as you flip through the pages and you open it up and you kind of look, you can smell that fresh ink, the new paper. It's like, wow, I wrote that. That's something that I said in black and white right there. And then you remember that you have some orders already that came in for people who wanted autographed copies. You already have a dozen people who have said, when you get your books in, I want an autographed copy. So you kind of push aside the things that were on the kitchen table and you take out the dozen books, you set them down, and you start writing. And you sign your name. You give them a, thank you for buying the book or whatever you're saying inside. And you sign your signature. You sign all 12 of them, set them aside so that they're ready to go out the next day. Before you get up, you just kind of take it in and you're just like, wow, it feels great. It's exciting to be able to use this book to touch the hearts of more people, to reach more people, to get around the world. And you know that those books are opening doors of opportunities because they already are. Interviews, TV, speaking gigs, all of those things, because you answered that call to write your book. All right, take a deep breath in and out. And then when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. All right, tell me how that felt. How amazing did that feel to go through and actually see those books, feel the box, smell the paper, sign your name? How did that feel? Let me know in the comments. Now, I know that some of you may be experiencing a little bit of anxiety about writing this book still. Maybe not quite anxiety, maybe it's stress, whatever it is. Maybe you're thinking, oh gosh, Vickie, you're making it sound so easy, but my mindset, like, how am I supposed to just change this? But I want to. Know that it's normal. Know that it may seem like an overwhelming mountain, but I promise you, it can be broken down and made easy if you let it be. Hear what I said. You have to let it be easy. You deserve to have this be easy. You don't need to struggle writing your book. I've talked to so many people on enrollment calls who tell me that they've wanted to write a book at like level 10, like, oh gosh, I want it so bad. But then they don't do it because it's scary, it's unknown, they're not sure, and then the priority isn't really there. But they want it, and they want it, and they want it, and they want it, and if you sit and want, you're going to always sit and want. I'm a recovering control freak. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know that. So I understand wanting to know how it all pans out and how it all unfolds. But I've also seen for myself and my clients that the way things unfold are usually beyond our wildest imaginations. It's beyond anything that we could even think up, because we don't know what we don't know. And we don't know how easy it can be because we've created this thing in our head, right? And anxiety is worry about the future. When you don't know how and you don't know what's going to happen, and we tend to overthink, and we want to have the bird's eye view when we're down in the maze and we can't see it again. But we just have to trust that we do the things that we can do, and then the other stuff's going to take care of itself, right? Again, about the what ifs, we need to throw those out. That's why it's important to let go of how it's going to look, how the writing process is going to look, how you're going to sound inside your book, how your audience is going to react. And when you let all of that go, it is such a relief, because guess what happens? You get to order the box of books and drag it into the kitchen to sign them for people who are dying and waiting to have that book in their hot little hands, right? So here's something I would love you to use. It's something called a binaural. I don't know if you've heard of this before, but binaurals work subliminally through repeating affirmations at different frequencies. And you listen to binaurals in the background, like while you're cooking or while you're organizing your closet, or something like that. I prefer to use headphones, even though some people say it's not required. But I prefer to use headphones because sometimes they're talking in the left ear, sometimes they're talking in the right ear, and it's at different frequencies than both, right? And what this does is it gets into your subconscious, and then you start saying these things to yourself, right? And lucky for you, the binaurals that I listen to has a best-selling author binaural. I was so excited when I saw that. So it helps your subconscious get on board, because remember, you are controlled by your self-conscious beliefs. You do things due to your self-conscious beliefs. Now we want to get to those self-conscious beliefs so you can be a best-selling author, right? You're already at one inside, but that subconsciously, you need to feel it, believe it, and be on board, right? So homework day 2, part 2, is to use the link for the binaural best-selling author. Okay, so I'm gonna put that into the comments. Here's a link to use. Hold on, for binaurals. All right, and I will also post this separately, okay, so that you can listen to this and live in that energy. And this is one of those things that you're going to listen to this binaural, not just one day, not just today. Like, your homework is to listen to it at least once, but I want you to listen to this for the next 30 days, 60 days, whatever it is, while you're writing your book. Okay? I want to go back and read some of these comments. Very real, felt real, incredibly wonderful, amazing with the visualization, felt so good and regular, normal. I love that. Normalize the stuff, right? Best feeling ever. Saw the cover and the picture you're going to use. Awesome. So Linda, Rebel, Cynthia, Lindsay, Linda, this is you. This is your life. Rosie, Mandy, Terry, Catherine, felt so real. Put a smile on your face. Yay. Sarah, love your GIF. Chevy, felt great to sign a copy of your best-selling book. Yeah, it does feel good. I tell you from experience, it's pretty darn cool when people wait in line for you to sign for them. Tina, felt so happy and light. I wrote XXX, I appreciate your support, signed with a fancy signature, right? You get to pick what color pen. Was really funny. I did a poll on what color pen, and I said black or blue. And then people picked purple. Like, that's my favorite color. I didn't even put it out there, right? Anyways, you get to pick the pen. You get to pick the color. Here's one of my fancy pens. I love this pen. Let me see if I can find it. One of my pens with the little diamond on the end. Lindsay, let it be easy. Yes, smiled through the whole entire thing, Chevy. Julie, love the visualization. The sensory elements made it so real. Right, you deserve it. It's so much more tangible now, right? Love it, love it, love it. Awesome. Okay, so the binaural, make sure that you do that. That is part 2. And you know what's on the flip side, right? Status quo, staying exactly where you are, struggling to make an impact, making yourself known, feeling incomplete. And here is the thing, incomplete. That book, that calling that we keep talking about, you're incomplete until you get it done. It's going to feel like something is missing and you're lacking some sort of fullness in your business, your life, whatever. And then you're going to wonder when the day is going to come, wishing that you had your book, right? Yesterday I quoted, oh gosh, who was it that I quoted? I forgot. But the wishing and wishing and wishing isn't writing. Wishing is just going to get you more wishing. You got to get writing, right? And you don't want to keep feeling like that, do you? You want to feel like the visualization exercise. That's what you want to feel like. Now, here's the thing I want to tell you, and it may seem harsh, but by now you know that I kind of just tell it how it is. Writing a book isn't for everyone. Although I'm talking about this calling and all of that stuff, right? There's like a certain group of people that this is not for. I'm guessing that it's for you, but I don't know everybody here that perfectly or that well. And so if you're somebody who is going to drag it out, never complete it, complain about it, tell people it's hard and then gloss over the story that you've been called to share, then don't do it. If you're not going to go deep, if you're not really going to share, if you want to be normal, I just wrote this post earlier that the book that you're supposed to write is not supposed to make you blend in. It's supposed to make you stand out, right? Make sure that you write that book. Not something that sounds like everybody else or it's safe. Safe isn't fun. Safe isn't impactful. Safe doesn't change the world, right? And it's also going to be a waste if you don't intend on doing things like the fame formula for legendary impact that we talked about yesterday. If you don't intend on doing all those pieces as an entrepreneur, you're going to lose the ROI, the impact, the legacy, like you're going to lose those things. So having a book just to have a book, it just doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't grow those arms and legs and go out and grab you clients. You have to multiply it, elevate it, like I said yesterday. You need to use it in your business, or it's going to die that death under a blanket of dust. You'll buy 50, not even 5,000, like some people might, and they're going to sit in your basement. You have to be not just committed to writing the book, but committed to using it. You get what I'm saying? So when you commit to writing your book, you're also committed to telling the world about it. Besides, when you write a book that you're proud of, you kind of want to. Like you will be so excited to share the content inside your book that you cannot wait for people to read it. And when they're excited about the impact, right? You're excited about the impact. When the readers are excited about the transformation, you're just inherently going to just talk it up to everybody that you meet. And when people write books without help, those who need help, right, and don't get it, they're not confident about the book even if they get it out. And then they don't talk about it. If they're embarrassed about it or they're unsure, then they don't promote it. And that becomes a waste of time and effort. Is that not what happens when we do courses as well that we're not sold out for? Same thing, business parallels your books, right? And that's why it's important that you get the help that you need, like in this course, right? Don't wing it. That's not a strategy, but there's also next steps after this mini course. And tomorrow I'm going to share even more about my Easy Writer program, if that's the right next step for you. But in the meantime, I want to share that it's available. And the spoiler alert is that I'm going to be giving away upgrades to Easy Writer Elite. But again, we're going to talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. Growing up, I read the whole entire library. My parents were immigrants, so my first generation Taiwanese American, my mom, right? So I'm first generation Taiwanese American. My mother and my father were immigrants. My mom always said to me, you can do anything if you read. If you're willing to read and learn, every opportunity out there is available to you. And the people who write the books, you and me, we are the ones giving those opportunities inside our books. Did you catch what I said? We are the ones giving opportunities to other people. Let that sink in. You have a huge gift in the calling we've been talking about over and over again. And I'm here to help you take a stand for yourself and for the people who are going to read your book. So tomorrow I'm going to reveal how you can write your book in 60 days or less. I'm going to totally eliminate the time problem that you think you might have and get you really super duper excited that you can write your book faster than you ever thought you could. I cannot wait. It's going to be so super duper juicy. Okay? That I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. You guys are amazing. Make sure you do your homework, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. See you later. Bye.